It's Rich with Rich Baum Photography, and I'm going to do a little tutorial that is going to feature something that is not very exciting or glamorous, but something certainly all real estate photographers have to deal with, or at least the ones I know, and I do, and it's how to get in and out of bathrooms like this really quickly, and a couple of just tips to show you how you can really make the most of this. And you know, you shouldn't be spending more than a minute or maybe a minute and a half in a bathroom. And sometimes, like this image, you really couldn't shoot it straight out of camera. So I use lighting, and I'm just going to get right into it. So I've got this image, and I've got a terrible color cast here, but I have a flash image which is going to show the white, which is going to overpower the ambient image. Like the ambient light here is coming from these warm bulbs right here, and it's really giving us a terrible color cast. So I'm just going to go through these images one at a time, and I'm going to hopefully show you a few little tips and tricks that will help you to get in and out quickly. So the first thing I'm going to do, and it's been a while since I shot this house or all these houses, so I'm going to just kind of do it freehand like it's the first time for me. So what I would do here is, let's just go over the settings. This is ISO 125, and I normally shoot ISO 320 or 400, but I've done 125 here because I didn't need much power here. And I'm doing 1/4 of a second, a 0.4 of a second. So I've got a long exposure here, but you can see the issues. It's blown out the lights. But the ambient image I'm going to use for other things that I'm going to use it for. I'm looking at my flash image. I'm going to use the ambient to use the reflection in the mirror. Most of the reflections in my bathroom mirrors, almost always, are ambient. So you want to get that right. So let's just start with this image, and let's take, I'm going to, you know, normally I do, let's get the yellow out preset. I also call it ambient yellow out. And as you can see a preview of it, it's not going to do enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eyedropper tool right here, and I'm going to drop it into the sink. I always use the sink because almost always it comes pretty good, pretty close to what I need. But you see, it did help a lot, but it errors. Okay, eyedropper, and when you take out yellow color, let's go back. If you take out yellow, it tends to err on the blue, the color of the ambient light coming in the window, or it turns it a little too blue. So let's just click this here, and let's go down to my, and you know what? I'm just going to, on top of that, use my ambient yellow out. And here's the ambient yellow out. I'm going to do a preset soon for that, but I'm going to show you right now. I'm just taking out all the highlights. I'm adding a little bit in the shadows, but I don't want the shadows real high because I like the shadows in the ambient exposure usually. A little bit of white so you can see these settings here, and a little bit of clarity. And actually, I'm going to add a little bit of dehaze. I've started adding dehaze to my ambient yellow out because it tends to give me a little bit of a hazy image, and a little bit of vibrance and a little bit of saturation. And here's the real kicker for the ambient yellow out. I bring my orange down about this amount, and I bring my yellow. That's the saturation in the hue, saturation, and luminosity color sliders. And I bring out my blue here. But let's bring out the blue a little bit more, as you can see here. So just basically look up here. I'll redo that. Look at there before. I'm just going to go backwards. There it is, purple. I'm just going to take out the blue a little bit more, and it becomes something I can use. Now, please understand this tutorial is taking a lot longer than a minute and a half, but it normally takes me about a minute to do all of this because I've got it down. Okay, so I have got my camera in the corner, and it's just a regular bathroom. You know how it is. It's just something you got to do. So let's go to my flash shot, and I'm going to start off with my full bump or my special sauce right there. And you can find that preset in my tutorials, okay? It's giving me a little bit yellow here, but I'm okay with that. I may bring that down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I've got a pretty good flash shot, and I put my flash right by camera, just against the back wall. And it's okay that I'm in the mirror because I'm not going to use the mirror from this shot. I'm going to use the mirror from this shot, okay? I'm actually going to raise my exposure up a little bit in the ambient shot, as you can see here, because I'm going to use that part of it, okay? There we go. So now I've got my full bump on here, and everything looks pretty good, pretty quick. Now, another thing I'm going to use my ambient for is I think this was shot pretty late, or it's really dark here, and I've got the flash image to 1/40th of a second. Now remember, this is ISO 125. If I was using ISO 400, I'd probably be up in the 100th of a second range. But whatever you do, you want to expose for these lights to get your exposure down, because that's what you base off of. So I used my exposure so I would control the exposure of these lights, and then I light the rest, okay? And all I'm using is a single speed light, as you can see there. Really, really easy, nothing fancy. So I'm going to highlight both of these. I'm going to go up into Photo, Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. Okay, and this is a good opportunity for me to tell you to please, or ask you to please, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave comments, use the Adorama link. It helps me make these free tutorials. They're all in the show notes, and they're for your benefit to learn more, and my benefit to help me teach you more. So anyway, I'm going to now bring in I don't have my layers palette up, so I'm just going to go down into Window and Layers Palette, bring it up here, and there we go. So now I'm going to highlight both of these images. I'm then going to go up into Edit, Auto Align Layers, as I always do now. There we go. No, that's Auto Blend. What am I doing? Edit, Auto Align Layers. I'm sorry, I screwed you up there. Okay. So let's just go here. And there we go. I've got the auto aligned layers done. Now I'm going to highlight the ambient image, and I'm going to add a layer mask, and I'm going to click on Option on a Mac and Alt on a PC. And there we go. So we have our flash image. So let's just go as we always do, white for painting in or revealing. Let's go our paintbrush here. Let's make sure we're on 0 hardness, and I'm up to 8% flow up here. And that's all I need to do. I'm on normal blend mode, okay? And there I go. I'm going to hit return to get rid of that. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take care of the first thing first. For me to make it really easy, I'm going to select my window frame right here. I could do this freehand, but I'm just going to show you. I'm taking right here, my polygonal tool there, and I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to just do the inside of the mirror, because I like the yellow from, hold on, I'm just going to do this. I like the yellow on this, on the frame right here. So let's go here, and I'm going back to my paintbrush, and I'm just going to go paint in the ambient exposure really quick. The main thing you got to learn with everything I do is just to understand the concept, and it's really quick and easy. So I'm going to hit Command D for deselect. Now I'm just going to mask in some of the ambient for this window, and that's bringing my exposure back up. Okay? A little bit blue, but that's okay. I want you to get in and out of these really quick. Okay? Adding a little bit of, and I'm not using my luminosity mode. I'm going normal mode because I find I have less issues with normal mode. There we go. Just a little bit of ambient here, little there, and a little bit there. Okay, good. And actually, I'm getting a little bit of window shine from the wall. I usually like that, but I don't like it here. So I'm just going to hit X. Watch my paintbrush. If I hit X on my keyboard, it turns to black, and I can just erase it. Or I could have, and I'm just going to erase part of it. There you go. So there's many ways to do that, and I know I'll get a comment from somebody out there, but that's how I do it. I go back to the black, which is hide, and I go and erase it. So there you go. So what I want to do now is to get out of here. I'm not going to save it, and I'm just going to do it real time for you. Okay, I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to set this back. My main issue here is to show you how fast and easy it is. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to bring down my blue slider, a little bit of my purple and orange too to get rid of that color cast there. I'm now going to go over to my flash image, use my full bump, and I'm going to then go here, highlight both of them. I'm going to photo, edit in, there's in Photoshop anyway. And again, I'm doing this strictly to show you how quick and easy it is. And most of the time you're limited on your speed by your computer. So hopefully your skills don't do that. Okay, I'm going up here. I'm going to just go up here, auto align layers. And it's okay if you're not following me, you can rewatch the video. There we go. Here, I'm going to now just freehand. Oh, I've got to bring it to white, X, freehand here. There we go. Get a little bit of brightness there. A little bit of ambient down in here. Okay. And for me, I'm in and out. That's it. Okay. It took me about a minute, a little less than a minute maybe. Okay. So let's get out of here. Why am I not getting out of here? Something's not working. Okay. There we go. Don't save. Okay, let's go to the next image. Back to Lightroom. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to show you now a really quick and easy way we all deal with getting rid of our camera. And I want to just tell you one tip. So here's the ambient exposure straight out of camera. And here is the flash exposure straight out of camera. So I want to tell you one thing. When you are going to have a camera or a tripod or something in the image, and you're going to have to clone it out, the most important thing is to position your camera where you don't have something in the background. Like I don't want to position it over by this light switch. I want to position it in an area that is nothing behind it. That will really help me to get to the point where I can clone it out much easier. Let's say there was a doorway here. I could move my camera over to here where there is no doorway. I just want you to think about when you put your camera and you see it in the window or you see it in the doorway, in the mirror, you want to put it someplace that has nothing in the background, okay? So that should be easy. So let's do this really quickly. First thing I'm going to do right here is just do ambient yellow out. There we go. I'm going to bring down, look at this, it's a little bit overexposed. I'm going to bring this down to about here. Okay, now I'm going to use my eyedropper tool again, and I'm going to go into the sync. And there we go. And it got rid of all the color casts. So you can see here what it was. It was this color. Now it's this color. And now this is erring on the side of blue. So all I want to do is go down to here. And in my ambient yellow out, I also have a little bit of blue out because it always seems to add in blue. But I'm going to take it out even further. Okay, and I'm going to take out the green color cast in this wall. So I'm just going to take out the green and the blue, and it leaves it pretty white. But actually, you could probably deliver this image. But I'm just going to do the flash image. Let's go over here to the flash image, and let's go do the full bump, okay? Now, I'm going to just expose properly down here. And I've got a few issues here. I got a little bit of shadows here. I'm going to clone this out, and I've got to get rid of myself. So you can see that we almost didn't need to do a flash image. But the flash image for me is a little bit better, okay? And it also gets rid of, excuse me, there's a light up here which is causing, in the flash image, in the ambient image, the light is causing this shadow here. So my flash image will get rid of that, okay? Let's go now. I'm just going to go up into Photo, edit in, Open as layers in Photoshop. Got a little hoarse voice today, so I'm going to take a little sip of coffee. Ah, yes. It's the Cyber Monday. Man, Cyber Monday. What am I going to buy today? Woo-hoo. Okay, I'm going to highlight both images to auto-align, edit, auto-align, and I want everybody to know that I'm going to do a tutorial on it, but I have my auto-align and send layers to Photoshop as layers. Send images to Photoshop as layers. I have these as quick keys, so I don't have to go up and do all that I'm doing, but I don't have that for you now, so I'm just going to tell you I'm going to do a tutorial on it. And for now, just that's how you can easily get to auto-align in Photoshop. Okay, auto-align layers. So I'm just going to make a layer mask. I'm going to hold down Option on a Mac, Alt on a PC, add a layer mask. Okay, so let's just now freehand paint out the reflection. And that is the key right there. And another key is I remotely tether, so I don't have to be in the image. So I can have less, like if I was in this image here setting off the camera, I would then have much more to clone out, but I cannot be by my camera. Okay, now let's give a little bit of ambient down here. It's just taking away a little bit of the harshness of the flash. A little bit in here. Here we go. A little bit of ambient up here. Okay, now let's do one really quick tip. I'm now going to go Command F. I am going to flatten my image. I know it's sacrilege, but I'm going to just flatten Command F, flatten my image layers so I can continue to work on them. Now I'm going to take my patch tool over here on the left. You can see you have your spot healing brush and your patch tool. I'm going to click patch tool and I'm just going to circle this here. This is actually a natural reflection, but that's okay. So I'm going to move it over here. Bam. Okay. Got rid of that. So I'm going to hit Command D for deselect. And now let's go over into our work we have to do in cloning. I don't think I've ever actually done a cloning video. It's so easy. I take it for granted people know. And again, the color cast is a little screwed up here, but I'm not going to worry about it because the main thing is you got to get in and out of these bathrooms really quick. And I just do the bare minimum. So here we go. Let's go with the polygonal lasso tool again. And let's just go in here and let's carefully select the object we're going to clone out. And this technique works really well for a lot of things and all cloning. So I could do two things. I could move this to just use my patch tool and bring it up to here. Let's see how that works. Well, that actually worked pretty darn good. So let's now deselect that. You know what? You can see the patch tool sometimes doesn't work. So let's just go backwards. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a two-part clone, and I'm going to use my patch tool also. But first, I'm just going to clone out. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over here and select right here. And I'm going to now clone out the bottom part. Okay. Let's go here and here. Now you can see, you're maybe not going to understand why I'm doing this because I don't have another example. But you can see here that I've got it cloned out here, down here, because sometimes when you do the patch tool, it will bring in residual things from down here and doesn't really work. So I do a full-on clone here, and then I'm going to select my patch tool, and I'm going to bring it over here. There we go, right in there. You know, it kind of still did it here. It brought over a little residual of down here, but let's now click deselect. It's pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is just use my clone tool here, and I'm just going to select right here, and I usually put my my bullseye right here on a thing that I know is there. Like this line, the frame. There we go. Okay, I didn't like that, so I'm going to go backwards on there. And I'm just going to use my patch tool again, kind of confusing you. I'm just going to, you want to play around till you get it right. There we go. And I don't know what this is down here. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to, and you got to remember, you got to get in and out of here. Don't spend too much time with a perfect clone because you can easily get in a time suck of Photoshop. So I'm going to deselect that. Let's go out. It's, boy, I'll tell you the truth. Now I'm really watching this, and it's not that great. Let's go up there. Deselect. It's good enough. So I'm just going to move on. But you get the idea. I'm showing you all the tools. Let's do one thing. I'm going to bring this back into Lightroom, and I just want to bring up the temperature a little bit in here. Okay, because the walls are a little bit warm from the lights in reality, so I've got that there. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. I've got a very similar bathroom, so let's just do it real time, okay? I'm just going to make sure I'm at reset to straight out of camera. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ambient yellow out. Then I'm going to go into eyedropper tool. And I'm going to go, that looks pretty good. And now let's go to the flash image full bump. Okay, let's bring down the exposure a little bit. There I go. And these bathrooms are almost identical. These were a model homes I was shooting, and they had almost the exact same thing. So I'm just going to go into edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. There we go. Okay, so here we go. It's opening up, and this again is a good opportunity for you to just check out where you place the camera. You want to place it, you don't want to place it like partially in this doorway. You want to place it out in the open where there's nothing there. And usually a reverse of a bathroom window, a bathroom mirror, has a blank wall. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to edit, auto align layers, and I'm going to click OK once it comes up. And I'm going to now make a layer mask, and I'm going to go into paint out the reflection of this mirror. Okay, and I've got only 8% flow. That's why it takes me so many passes. There we go. I'm adding a little bit of ambient in here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the ambient in here because it's giving me the shadow from the shower curtain rod. Let's hit X. There we go. Just bring it back a little bit. Okay. Excuse me. Now I'm going to flatten the image. I'm now going to take my patch tool, bring it here, bring it down here. There we go. Deselect. Now I'm going to go back to my reverse mirror. I'm going to select the camera. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to now use my patch tool, see if I can't get a good patch. And I did deselect. You know what? It's not perfect down here, but I'm just gonna keep it there. No problem. So that's how we did it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it back into Lightroom. I'm gonna hold down Command SW, and then I'm just gonna show you my final little what I'm doing to it. I'm just gonna do my final bump. I'm going to now just, when I did my auto align, it makes a little frame around it showing it was not in alignment. And I'm going to bring this here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to show the door. Usually I don't show doors, but lately I've been doing it a little bit. So that's up to you. So I'm just going to crop this so it is not showing any white border from auto align layers. And I'm looking at my histogram. It looks pretty good. So I think that, and let's look at this image, and that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So this was Rich Baum from Sacramento, California, saying, whatever you do, I got a little bit of shadow up here, but you know what? I missed that, and you know what? That's okay. Nobody's ever going to notice. As I was going to say, is get in, get out really quickly in Photoshop and Lightroom. Get in and out of these little bathrooms super quick, because spend your time on other types of shots. These are important, only that they need to be, in my opinion, they just need to be shown for information that there is an extra bathroom. But you don't have to. A lot of people don't even shoot these, so I have to shoot them because that's what I do. But I want you to do what you need to do and spend as much time or as little time on cloning. You could clone, make that perfect right there, but it's good enough for real estate photography for me. And I don't mean to sound flippant saying I don't spend time on real estate photography, because I do. I do a very good job on little things. That's why people, my clients, like me. But I'm saying don't spend a zillion hours doing this. And you will learn that your compositions will really get fast and easy on these kinds of bathrooms, because you're going to do them so many times. The most important thing, again, is to remember, control the exposure of your lights up there. Expose. Now, these are a little bit blown out and a little bit high, but they're good enough for what I'm doing. But be sure that you control the exposure of your room light, or the window if it's brighter. But for these bathrooms, it's usually always the lights. So this is Rich with Rich Baum Photography saying, have a great Cyber Monday. If you're just listening to this as it's released today, I'm going to release it right away. And if not, just go out and have a great time shooting. Use my Autorama link. Go check out shootingspacespodcast.net, where we have a real estate photography podcast. And just go out and have a great time, shoot better, shoot smarter, and spend less time in bathrooms. Okay, Rich with Rich Baum Photography saying thanks so much. Talk to you later.